my God, you know what? Sorry, not to like fully swerve the other direction, but
What?
speaking of stupid, like whatever. I have not really reckoned with the idea that I have been like a Conan fucking freak since day one. And Conan ending like on the perfect note. On the perfect note. Did you watch his little farewell thing?
I did not, just because I've been swept up in it all lately. But yeah,
you should
tell me about it.
You specifically should watch it because he's just like, all it is him thanking people and thanking the people who stood by him all these years. And then at one point, he's like thanking like Lisa Kudrow, and then there's a whole segment where he and like Lisa like go to like this fucking like sidebar at Largo where they met for the first time in an improv class, and that was where they both recognized, they both like, they were so young, they were like in their 20s, like both 22, like recognizing each other as like, that person's funny. I don't know, not to be cheesy, but like I remember exactly where I was. I might have been with you when like he did like the whole like cynicism is my least favorite quality, and all you have to do is work hard, be kind to people, and amazing things will happen. Oh my God, I'm crying. I love Conan so much. I'm sorry. Oh my God, this is like the pure serotonin. This is the drugs, by the way. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, he is.
Like, I know that's
comedy.
I know that's
a legend.
He's a legend, and like
it means something to you. And I was really happy that on that episode with Nikki, you were able to externalize that, because I feel like you haven't really talked about it on the podcast that much.
But Raj, I'm calling you Raj, LOL, like Josh Sharp does. But like every night,
Josh Sharp calls me Raj.
Every night in middle school and high school, like I would stay up to watch, and like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And so I know like work hard and be kind to people is like on every fucking like basic like withered like distressed wood poster in the world, but like I don't know, like that's such a perfect distillation of like who he is, how he conducts himself. But then the way he ended this one, this TBS run, was the last thing he says is, my whole life, my whole career has been about finding that sweet intersection of smart and stupid. He's like, that's what I spent my whole life chasing, is that like that little like tangential point of smart and stupid. And like that is exactly what Conan is, right? Like every Conan bit is perfectly stupid, perfectly smart. Bowen Yang, I immediately thought of you. I thought of you and Sudi. I thought of you and Sudi as like, those are the people that I know in my life who do that the best. And then he says, as soon as I thought of you two, he says, so if you can do what you love with the people you love, that's the closest thing to heaven on earth. Oh. And I thought of you guys, and I was like, oh my God, this man is my hero. He's been my hero all along. And he like is the reason why I've like stuck with the people that I love, is because I knew like that was like the sauce. Like that's like what everyone wants. And like, I am so lucky to have that. And I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm like literally sobbing over Conan O'Brien, LOL. But
that
like
makes
that
a
is
lot
a
of
comedy
sense
legend.
To me. Well, I love you, and I feel the same way. And I just, and honestly, that is emotional, because it's like he has been such a constant for so many people. And I do think, I think in the late night conversation, he does get a little bit lost, because I think in terms of whenever one talks about like late night legends, it feels like only like comedians will talk about Conan. I think maybe because, it got a little weird there with like his representation in late night with the Tonight Show of it all. But that man he is a singular icon. And I mean, like, talk about one of the best interviewers. I mean,
oh my God.
Also, you'll hear like many celebrities coming out now, or notable people that have been out. They're all coming out of the woodwork right now saying that my favorite interview was the one I did with Conan O'Brien.
Yes.
Or I never felt taken care of comedically like I did with Conan O'Brien. Or I never felt like I could actually go out there and do a real bit. Like, or honestly, Conan O'Brien, like some interviews that he did, like made people's careers in ways. I mean, Aubrey Plaza, like on Conan O'Brien is like a comedic touchstone for some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like God. He made people feel like their funniest self, and that is a skill, and that is a talent, and that is a gift. And in order
he did
to
that with, like,
be
Bo
someone
Burnham too, randomly.
Absolutely.
Like, those interviews, I was like, oh, that guy Bo, like, wow. And like, it was like pure like Conan, like setting him up for like to shine. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think it's very real. You did not cut me off at all. I mean, I think that this this is someone who means something to so many and means something to you. And so like, that's a part of this podcast, babe. I mean, is like you, like letting everyone know that
Conan is one of my cultures, like moments that made me say culture is for me. 1000% down. Like 100%. Conan, like fucking shaped like the way I related to comedy. Cause I was like, oh my God, who is that writer? That's Miriam Tolan. That's Brian. I was like getting granular about this, about comedy and about how comedy is made. Like that is huge. Like I was never curious about it until Conan. I'm sorry, I'm crying. Oh my God, I'm crying.
It's fine to cry.
Oh my God.
You know what's funny too? Like the person that makes me cry is obviously Kelly. And
yes.
one of my favorite
Conan
things
is my
she
Kelly.
ever did earlier in her career was when she was on Conan. And she sat down in the chair and she turned to the audience and she goes, "This is my favorite show, you guys." And I was like, I love her because I believe it. And then they had an interview that was so fun and good, and I could just tell she felt comfortable. Like this one, I was watching everything she ever did, like downloading it, truly like a little sad little fag. Like I was like, I need to download everything on my computer. But I remember her interview with him like made me so happy. I think I watched it thousands of times, but I get it because he made people feel good. He made you feel good. And I honestly like to see him really get his flowers in this last week, like as people like say goodbye to the show or as it is now anyway, or him as he's been on television pretty much our entire developmental life. You know what I mean? Like was really special, was very cool. Yeah.
Anyway.
And
thank you for giving me that space.
Oh my God, of course. I mean,
but intersection of smart and stupid, like that is like, oh, that's like that is like perfect. That is like anytime I laugh at something you say, it's because you know how you're being so smart about how stupid you're being. That is always why I laugh.
I know how to tickle her. I always know. And that's why I said my sister needs me in a vulnerable moment. So I'm going to stay right here, sissa.
My sister.